Hello, welcome to Decay Tabletop Gaming. In this video, we're going to have a bit of a little think about what Games Workshop is going to throw up at us in the next Warhammer preview online. That phrasing sounded horrible, although throwing up, it kind of ties in with the theme, Decadence and Decay. I think this is very, very obvious. Let's be honest. So we have Decadence, it's a purple color, obviously Slanesh, and Decay, which is a vomit green brownie color. That's Noggle. I think it's really clear. Also on Facebook, you can see a lot of the Warhammer stores are referring to Slanesh and Noggle when talking about the preview online. That text is generally sanctioned by head office, so for the most part it's sanctioned. So I think it's pretty obvious that we're going to get some Slanesh and Noggle stuff, which is very exciting for 40k. So let's talk about Decay first. We know that the Death Guard Codex is coming this year. It was one of the 4 remaining codexes that were going to come out this year. So we also have Blood Angels and Death Guard. So I think it's pretty obvious. For Death Guard, we're going to get the Codex. We'll get some funky dice. We'll get some new strategy cards or stratagem cards or relics or whatever comes in those cards. I don't generally buy them because I don't play, I just want the models. We will get a new combat patrol. I'll come back to that combat patrol in just a second. And we do have that special model that is coming out, and I'll throw a graphic up on screen about that now. So, Codex. I love the new format of the Codexes. I think there's a lot of great content in there, so I'm pretty excited to get hold of it. The dice will be Games Workshop dice. Good quality dice, but expensive, so they'll probably have some sickly green with maybe pus marks on them or something like that. Super gross because it is Noggle. The combat cards, little stratagem cards, stock standard. You know what you're going to get with those. And the new model, I can't remember off the top of my head what it's called, but I'll put that text up on screen. If you've seen my other thoughts on that in some other videos, I'm not overly excited by it. It needs more tentacles and more fleshy mass falling off it, and more Noglings. It needs more Noglings. That's just what it is. Fight me on it. Death Guard needs more Noglings. That's what it is. That one's coming, so I'll pick that up as well. But probably the biggest thing of that is the new Combat Patrol box. And when I say new, I'm hoping, and I don't think I'd be too wrong on this, it will be the Death Guard side of the Dark Imperium box set. Those models have not come out yet, so you get all those Death Guard models that you can't buy elsewhere because the multi-part kit is different to those models. You'll get some extra Poxwalkers that you can't get anywhere else. You might get a bit of the elite command structure that came in that box as well. I can't remember how the sprues were split up off the top of my head, so I don't know what models were going there. I think the commander, I can't remember exactly the leader of that part of the box, if that was on a separate sprue itself. I recall correctly, I think it is. And they'll add some other stuff in there. You may get like some of the a Plague Burst crawler. You may get some of the other flyers that off the top of my head I cannot remember. And I think that's what's going to happen. 50 power level army thing, combat patrol size, as they've done with Space Wolves and Deathwatch. I think we've seen some spoiler images for Blood Angels as well that will be coming out with the Codex too. So that leaves us to Decadence. We'll stick about 40k at the moment, simply because I think there's some pretty obvious things for Age of Sigmar and like Warcry and Warhammer Underworld and things like that. I'm hoping that we will get an announcement of a specific Codex for Emperor's Children. I think we will. It's been rumored for a long time that a Demon Primarch Fulgrim model is coming, and I really hope it does. I think they can do some amazing stuff with that. I don't think they could have done this model even a few years ago. And that's released a few years ago. So this model would have been in the works for almost 2 years. Usually there's like a 2-year turnaround time from the start of a project to when it gets released. When I say a couple of years ago, I'm probably saying like 5 or 6 years ago. They definitely could not have done a Fulgrim model, simply because of he's half a snake man with multiple arms, and who knows what else is going on, what else they're going to pull out of the bag. And if the Mortarion model for Death Guard is anything to go by, this is going to be pretty cool. It's not going to be as dirty and grimy as it. That's not what Fulgrim is about. But it will be very, very cool. And it'll probably be around the 230 Australian price point, and a fairly big, hefty model too. So yeah, I'm thinking they will announce that, or at least tease it, and the Codex for it, which will come out sometime early next year-ish. Who knows at the moment? We've got Noggle's Plague going on worldwide. So who knows how that will affect the release schedule. So that's what I'm thinking for 40k. I'm just looking at the text as well that they've put on Warhammer Community. What they're saying is This one is delving deep into the dark places of Warhammer. So it's going to be pretty gritty. There's going to be some big reveals in capital letters, big in capital letters. Of course, they always talk up the online previews, but I think they've learned from the original ones they did earlier in the year. They talk up the preview. They really have to deliver, because the first few previews that were meant to be shown at like Adepticon, I think, that was split over like 3 or 4 different sessions, and it just didn't have the impact that everyone wanted. I think they've learned from that. They're going, okay, let's just throw off a whole bunch of stuff, even if it's not going to be coming out for a while, which I think where Decadence comes in. I don't think the Emperor's Children and the Fulgrim stuff will come out for like a couple of months at least. But I think they just want to give us something to say like, yeah, it is coming. Don't worry, guys. But what about Age of Sigmar, Necromunda, Warhammer World, Warhammer Underworld? Let's start with Warhammer Underworlds. We will see some new Slaanesh models, maybe some Head Knights of Slaanesh. We do get that warband coming in the new Diachasm box for Warhammer Underworlds, but there may be a specific demon warband for that. And they may also show another Nurgle warband. I think there is definitely space for another Nurgle warband in there, because I've only got one really off the top of my head, but I don't recall any other. And I think we'll just see a few more of the Warhammer Underworlds warbands. So I'm hoping, wow, my brain has just gone. The dinosaur ones. Wow. I've completely forgotten what it is, what they're called. Whoa. Okay. You know what I mean. The dinosaur ones are so embarrassing and just having a huge mental mind blank. Necromunda. We will see the next roadmap for the Necromunda warband. So we've got 3. So basically what they're doing a dedicated book for each of the gangs. So we've had Escher, Goliath, and Orlok. Next up, I think they have teased something I can't remember off the top of my head. But they'll give some more information on that. So they'll show the models off in the book and probably give a bit more of a roadmap like they have previously earlier in the year. So we're talking about 40k. I mean, Age of Sigmar. I don't really know what's coming for Age of Sigmar. So I have to jump in at this point because I've completely forgotten something that I read this morning about Slaanesh in Age of Sigmar. And spoilers, if you haven't caught up with Broken Realms at the moment, there is an article on the Warhammer community website. So Marathi is sucking out all the trapped elven souls from Slaanesh's belly. So that's happening. The problem is the ritual is weakening the bonds. So Slaanesh is looking like she might escape. Or he. It's ambiguous. I think it's Slaanesh is a them, to be honest. So you've got that happening. So there's lots for Slaanesh happening in Age of Sigmar. Just wanted to jump in, clarify that, because I don't sound like a complete idiot. Alright, back onto the rest of the video. I can't remember what books that are coming for Broken Realms, but if we're going to stick to the Decadence and Decay theme, I mean, you can just say, I think there might be some more Slaaneshi models, maybe some more demons, although they've had done a little bit of release for Slaanesh demons recently. Nothing new, really, just like one model. Oh, you did have the Shadow and Pain box that came out. Yeah, that's just come out. So maybe we're going to get some new Nurgle models. That would be kind of cool, because that does cross over into 40k as well, or something completely different. I don't think they're going to launch a new army anytime soon. They've done 2 armies recently with Lumineth Realm Lords and the Ossiarch Bone Reapers. I don't see them doing that. So yeah, that's sort of all I'm thinking. I think it might be a good one. I'm very excited for the 40k stuff, and hopefully they surprise us with some other stuff. Probably some Warcry, although they don't refer to Warcry specifically. But yeah, I'm thinking it's going to be a good time for 40k. For Chaos 40k. And now, hopefully it is Emperor's Children, then maybe one day we'll get the World Eaters and Angron. Alright, I am out of here. If you do like these little videos, definitely subscribe, and I'll do a review of the preview of Decadence Decay once that's done, because I'll be watching it live and making notes and doing all that stuff. So that's all I've got for now. So thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.